Alright, you guys, welcome back to Grisaia. Habits are persistent things. Even when your circumstances change, they tend to stay with you. I feel like habits are developed from your experiences in life, and those experiences tend to define your personality and who you are. So I would imagine the habits are kind of what you would use as a guideline to how you approach things in life. Take meal times, for example. I eat at 7 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon, and 7 in the evening. If you know the time, you know how full my stomach is. My sleep patterns are even easier to understand. Unless I'm working or something to do, my eyelids naturally grow heavy after 10 p.m., and I'm asleep by 11 p.m. at the latest. And if I don't set an alarm, my eyes open every morning to find the clock reading 4:45. Well, I'm glad you have such strong habits. I don't. After spending 15 minutes half asleep in bed, slowly rouse myself and apply the eye drops they keep cool in the refrigerator. Next, I drink a bottle of oolong tea, replenishing the fluids I lost through sweating in my sleep. Quick check of the weather outside my window, and I change into my sweats and head out for my daily run. These are more rules than habits for me at this point. Today, as usual, I alternated jogging with wind sprints, responding to the echo of the drill instructor's whistle inside my head. I mean, I think he has stronger habits because he seems to have some kind of military experience, which most people don't. At this very moment outside my empty dorm room, a far from routine incident was beginning to take shape. Heading back to my room after my run, planning on a quick shower and some breakfast when I noticed something unusual. Suo Amane was skillfully moving her slippered feet down the stairs, careful not to make the slightest sound. The instant I saw her movements precisely those of an infiltration mission, I instinctively hid myself in the shadows. I'm now watching her every move. Suo Amane, that woman, could it be? There's a cold, sticky sweat on my forehead, and it's not the product of my daily exercise. Am I her target? Amane's holding a key in her right hand. Glancing cautiously around her surroundings, she moves to my door. She takes great care to unlock it with a gradual, silent movement. Just as I thought, it's my room. And it's on my watch. It's still early morning. There's only one reason to sneak quietly into a man's room at this hour. Assassination. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe that Suo Amane is an agent working for some unknown organization. I feel like he's reading into this way too much. But now that I think back, there are a lot of things that didn't make sense. She was aggressively friendly to me from our very first meeting, never showing a hint of embarrassment at pushing herself onto me, and yet she has never showed any particular interest in my past. Just how convenient is that for me? Her lack of interest in my past makes sense if she's already received an overview of my background. At a glance, she's your typical horny big sister role player. Why are we still talking about that? That could be a fraud hiding a killing machine. A woman who takes lives as naturally as she draws breath. I hadn't read her that way, but that's probably because I let my guard down. I believe it'll be sloppy. If my master was alive, she'd knock me on my ass for this one. A convenient woman like that is obviously too good to be true. Even as I reproach myself, my chest is burning with bitter sadness. Oblivious to my silent regret, Amane eases my door open and begins to inch her way inside. Amane speaks in a whisper, probably a safeguard against the possibility I'd woken earlier than she expected. There's no response. She continues moving to the room. I quietly follow, concealing myself in the shadows to avoid alerting her to my presence. Of course, she finds my bed empty. Amane looks around the room quickly, and after a moment, opens the door to my bathroom and pokes her head in to continue her search. Why would you look at someone's bathroom? Like, what if there's only two things you should be doing in the bathroom, okay? Either going to the bathroom, or, I don't know, like, showering. I guess you could be brushing your teeth or doing something. But, generally you're doing things in there you don't want other people looking in at. That's why you're in there. It's a separate space. Exactly what she planned to say if I had been taking a shower. I want to know his response. Say what? Wait a second. Suo Amane. Did she seriously sneak in here for that idiotic? No, hold on. Could she not notice my presence? Is this all just a purposeful farce? Suo Amane, you're a hell of a woman. Very well, let's just see how long just how long you can keep up this little act. Mind your own business. I'm working on it at my own pace.
そのくせ結構散らかってるのよね。服は脱ぎっぱなしだし、
I think the real plot twist would be if, you know, this is going exactly as I expected. Like, he's overreading, overanalyzing, and then it turns out to be nothing. I think the real plot twist would be if she actually is an assassin, and this was just, like, to kind of fool us. It would be like a double play. I'll go get the laundry later. Anyways, let's gonna finish that after my run, okay? I love how he has to comment on it, too. Like, he feels the need to say something, even if it's not out loud. She's finally ready to lay her trap. Or not. Amane picks up the bottle and starts to gather my scattered clothes on the floor. For some reason, Amane unfolds the clothes in front of her face, buries her nose into them and begins inhaling their scent. Suo Amane, are you a dog? Or rather, a bitch in heat? Are you a pervert, Suo Amane? The dialogue here is gold. Can I just say that? Also, I love the fact that he has to state her full name. Hey, what now? Are you staring at my bed? Wait, you. Don't tell me. Yeah, yourself. Did you just seriously jump onto my bed? What? Now she's pressing her face into my sheets and snuffling loudly. Don't stick your face in my bed. Don't shake your ass around. Don't stick your face in my bed and shake your ass around. This girl really is a dog in human form. So Amane's just a huge pervert. I mean, we should have already known that. There was signs. Press your nose against the covers and inhale over and over. Of course, you're going to get lightheaded from lack of oxygen. More importantly, is this what I think it is? If I'm reading this correctly. This one is in fact a horny big sister roleplayer. Oh no, it's been confirmed. Allow me to correct myself. This woman is in fact a sex-crazed maniac big sister roleplayer. I love how even when he changes what she is, it always goes back to the big sister roleplayer. Drunk on the man singers apparently linger in my bed sheets. Amane wriggles her body, breathing roughly through her nose. Watching her shameful display, I feel more relieved than anything else. At the very least, there's no assassins in this stupid. Now that I think this over, call me, there's no way anyone would arrange such an elaborate assassination for me. A traffic accident would be more economical and the cleanup after the fact much less troublesome. Well, that suddenly ridiculous tension I've been filled with leaks out of my mouth. At this point, I finally notice I'm very thirsty. Moving relatively quietly, I open the door to my fridge and retrieve a large bottle of sports drink. Twist the cap off and drink directly from the bottle, gulping down a mouthful of cold liquid. As the chill soaks into my parched throat, the electrolytes course through my strained body. I realize just how worked up I've been over nothing. So, is he just drinking his sports drink while she's just sitting there on the bed? She's just doing whatever she's doing. Within her fantasy, I've apparently begun to reach my hand towards Amane's underwear. She's very concerned about this for some unclear reason. At this rate, I'm going to get a lovely masturbation show free of charge. What to do? Maybe the gentlemanly thing would be to go back outside, then noisily pretend to return. With that thought, I start to return my drink to the fridge. Just as I separate my mouth from the 2-liter bottle, the liquid inside sloshes around vigorously, making a surprisingly loud sound. Fortunately, that sound shatters Amane's delusion just as she's begun a slow, inviting wriggling of her hips. She swings up out of her bed, her eyes wide open. I didn't see any of this, woman. There's no time to hide. I'm standing there with a sports drink in my hand, staring at Amane, and she's staring right back. I don't know how many of y'all will get this reference, but I feel like this whole game would be great if it was in the format of, like, Code Ment or anything by Purple Eyes WTF. Like that kind of stupid style. Like that's just all this game screams to me. For a while now. If I honestly tell Amane that I saw the whole thing, she might be hurt. Maybe I should be considering telling her I didn't see anything, but at this point that would be way too barefaced to lie. Tell her you saw everything. So the middle ground would be to say, I only saw the last part. Let's see, I think it was, you can't, Yuji could have maybe stopped restraining herself. She's sweating. What's wrong? You're sweating like crazy. You want some of this sports drink? I already took a swig though. Is it more cruel that he didn't say anything earlier, or is it more cruel that you went into his room unannounced and then did all of that? I want you to think about that. Why should I have sung a song to help you get in the mood? Her legs buckling underneath her, Amane drops to the floor with a thud, covers her face with both hands, and breaks down in hysterical tears. Look, I'm the one who should be screaming here. Going back to your room to find a woman about to pleasure herself in your bed. I don't remember learning an appropriate response to this particular scenario. Such a Japanese thing to say, okay. Look at the bright side, at least things broke up before you started rubbing my pillow between your legs, right? I'm glad he's not being too considerate of her. I'm like, this is your fault. This is not Yuji's at all. Hey, Amane! Amane pushes past me and runs away screaming, still hiding her face in her hands. Although from the state of her ears, I can infer that it's bright red. What am I supposed to do with this woman? That's something we could say about every single woman in this school. Because they're all crazy in their own way. Probably not that big of a deal. But apparently I'm the only one who thinks so. A good hour later, it's time to go to school, but Amane's locked herself in her bathroom and shows no sign of emerging. That's not it. Just leave me alone. Dysentery. You're constipated. Do you need to take an embarrassed shit? I'll get the medicine. Time to get the Motrin. What? Makina, what is going on in your mind? You guys are all so weird. Well, the exact details aren't any of my business, but it seems that Makina's persistent siege eventually conceived Amane to leave the bathroom. Convinced. I don't think they even care if we're late, to be honest with you. This school is pretty lax. Don't be too harsh. Amane has her reasons. Yeah, I've been waiting here this whole time. The whole morning. Yep. I definitely didn't see anything. This is almost my fault. Wait, no, it's not. Don't accept responsibility. Don't conceive anything. I don't take responsibility. Makina, you're too young. You won't understand. I'm so glad we were on the same page. I said that before I even read what he said. You can practically see the question mark floating over Makina's head as she tries to get a grasp of the situation. Meanwhile, Amane seems to be trying to get through this by force of will alone. The three of us leave the dorm and begin to run towards our classroom. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, that was probably one of the funniest scenes so far. That might have been the funniest scene. As far as like the best scene, I still really like the one with Makina by the pond. That was great. Last episode's scene with Michiru, the alien, was also pretty great too. But I really like that. That was hilarious. Such a great way to start the video. Don't worry, I hate running too. I liked it more when I was younger, but now I've put on weight and it just makes me feel like awful as a person. Yeah, somebody here was making us late. Alright then, Maki, I'll teach you a wonderful song that makes running more enjoyable. It's gonna be like some army thing. Trying to remember all those army chants. I don't know what I've been told. Hold it running cadence. At my old school, we sung these all the time. We had to run. Repeat after me. Got it? Suo Amane's a bitch in heat. It sounds so bad making her say that. Rolling around in a man's bed sheets. I love this so much. He's just running in place. You know, he's having a good time. He's like just doing his thing. She's just happily singing along, not even paying attention to the lyrics, and then she's just really embarrassed. Good for you.
Good for you.
Good for me.
Good for me.
Good.
Good.
Well then, should we take a leisurely walk and sing some nice nursery rhymes instead? Although I've been considerately trying to turn the whole incident to a joke so we can laugh it off together, things didn't wrap up that neatly. I thought the joke was over. I thought we were past this. That's why I said something about the scene and how great it was. And then they kept going with it, and it just got better. Akina enjoyed the cadence call more than I expected. When she got Sachi to join in a loud chorus during PE class that day, her classmates actually started asking about the lyrics. Mona's response was to hang her head deeply and vaguely mumble, "Ahaha, I don't even care anymore." The smile on her face at that moment was truly hollow. That was the joke that really kept on giving, and it was wonderful. The moment I leave my room, I'm met with a shrill voice from the lobby. It's the alien. You don't know how tempted I was to make the thumbnail into her being like one of those xenomorphs. I wanted to put this xenomorph head on her so bad, but I was like, I don't know. That would take a lot of editing, and I'm not sure if I want to do that, but I thought about it. You don't have any part, huh?
それでもたまには全くしょうがないわねって言いながら参加してくれるのが優しさってもんじゃない。たまにでいいなら今日は参加しなくてもいいってことよね。ガグあんたはまた人のアゲンストって。
From what I can gather, Michiru is trying to drag Sakaki into some sort of group event. So, do those two dislike each other after all? I asked Amane, who's watching the fight from the sidelines, to clear up a point of confusion.
仲が悪いってわけじゃないと思うけど、ほら、お互いの性格がね。
I see. Michiru tries to bring those things together as everyone's leader. Tries to bring things together as everyone's leader, while Sakaki avoids excessive contact with those around her. It's only natural that those two would come into conflict pretty frequently.
それにこの年になってまでおままごとを楽しむ気はないわ。あんたね、いい加減にしないと私も本気で怒るわよ。そう、それなら私にも考えがあるわ。
Always with the box cutter.
別にそんなの全然怖くないんだから。
Judging from the way she isn't backing down even with that box cutter in her face, Michiru's got a little heated herself. Well, I'd rather them get heated as in fighting and not heated as in wanting to do things in her bed. So we got a king cobra versus a bear.
そうね。二人が言い合うのはいつものことだけど、そろそろマキナも怖がり始めたし。
I look down to find Makina hiding behind Amane's back, watching the scene fearfully. If you want, I can try to calm them down.
それなら大丈夫。私たちには大魔神がついてるから。
A demon lord.
じゃあ、さっちゃん、お願いね。わかりました。
Oh, Sachi is the demon lord, apparently. And so the fearsome demon lord, or rather, Sachi, slowly advances towards her prey. You crazy, Sachi's obviously not cut out for this role.
やっぱそう思う？
No offense to Sachi, but when it comes to stopping an argument, I think you'd be more effective on it.
普通はそう考えるわよね。でも、実際は違ったの。
Oh gosh, let's see what she's gonna do. There's a precedent.
そう。あれは、ユージ君以外のみんなが揃ってすぐの頃だったと思うけど。
Oh gosh, we have a flashback again.
その時も、今と同じようなことが起こって、最初は私が止めに入ったんだけど、結局二人は言い合いをやめてくれなかった。それで、藁をもつかむ勢いでさっちゃんにお願いしてみたんだけど、そしたら
She pulled it off.
しかも私やマキナが驚くくらいバシッとね。あの時のサッチかっこよかったのよさ。
This is a little hard to swallow, honestly.
それはこれから起こることを見てれば嫌でも納得できるわよ。
Seeing is believing, is it?
みちる様、榊さん。何よ、サチ。今私ちょっと忙しいんだけど。私も話なら後で聞くわ。あまねさんにお願いされているので、それだと少し困るというか。それより早くその物騒なものをしまいなさいよ。ならそっちが先に考えを改めてくれる？私は二人にお話があります。みんなが困っているので喧嘩をやめてくれませんか？やだなあ、サチ。私たちは別に喧嘩してたわけじゃないわよ。ねえ、榊さん。
I love the snake and the bear changing in the background.
そうね、松島さん。
What the hell was that? She just asked them and she did a crappy job of
で
it.
も効果てきめんでしょ。
True, the wind has completely gone out of Michiru and Sakaki's sails.
きっとサッチ、二人の前でブチぬわーって顔してるんだよ。どうして広島弁出た？今。
I see, so this is the nature of her demonic powers. Hey, Michiru. Seeking further details, I captured Michiru as she totters away from the scene.
何よあんた、こんな突然。
Why'd you stop arguing just now?
あんたはまだ本気のサチを見たことがないからそんなことが言えるのよ。
Now I'm afraid to. Sachi has a serious mode?
そうよく目で人を焦がすとか言うでしょ。
Not the correct saying. Yeah, that's what I was like.
そうとも言うやつ。
I think that's the only
サチ
variation.
のあれはまさしくそれよ。
In other words, when Sachi needs to, she can fire a glare powerful enough to kill.
その通り。しかもあの目は間違いなく10万馬力は出てるわね。
Ichigo continues to mumble to herself as she sits down on a nearby sofa.
やっぱり私、小峰さんが一番苦手だわ。
Sakaki, for her part, is unusually pale in the face.
これが一見気の弱そうなさっちゃんがクラス委員を任されている理由。ここには個性の強い学生が集まってるから、いざって時みんなに言うことを聞かせられる人間がいないとまずいじゃない？
You know, that makes perfect sense. Like, I don't need a further question what you just said. That's all really true to me.
で、それができるのは私じゃなく、さっちゃんだったってわけ。
So it seems.
さっちゃんはよく「わかりました」って言って何でも頼み事を引き受けてくれるけど、さっちゃんの「わかりました」は私たちにとって問題の解決とイコールなの。
Sache to me is kind of like Alfred, you know, Batman's butler. I don't know too much about Alfred's lore, but Alfred is the kind of guy who is in a way a servant, but is perfectly capable of handling things himself too. He's kind of just there out of loyalty, not because he's lower than him. That makes sense. He's very capable as well, and I feel like Sachi kind of fits that description. She's not a servant because she's below everybody here. We place a lot of trust in Sachi's abilities.
そうなのよ。実は怒らせると一番怖いのはサッチンかもしれないんだから。ガオーって。
Seems like I may have been underestimating Sachi. Sachi.
はい。
It's more to you than meets the eye. That was pretty impressive.
ありがとうございます。
I also like that he flirted with her. I don't think he's really flirted with any of the other girls. Maybe Mamane a little bit, but not so much. Maybe even Yumiko. But I like that he immediately took to flirting with her the first time you met her. I feel like Sachi's kind of his type a little bit.
さて、榊さんも参加してくれる気になったみたいだし、早速ボードゲーム大会を始めましょうか。
Board game tournament. Have fun. Don't worry about the noise. I'm the type who can sleep next to train tracks.
何言ってるの？ユージ君もやるのよ。
Ah, damn it.
みんなで遊ぶって言ってるんだから、当然あんたも入ってるに決まってるでしょうが。私も強制参加させられているのだから、分かっているわよね。なのよね、サッチン。
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at everyone's faces right now. I'm like, yeah, this very much describes their personalities. The rest of the girls.
はい。
They're either smiles or glares. They've been going at it like cats and dogs just moments ago, but all of a sudden it's an utterly united front. Might be a little late in the game to realize it, but I seem to have ended up in a pretty troublesome school. You're just now realizing that.
この A 液と B 液を混ぜる作業、何度やっても手が震えてくる。
Japanese voice actresses never fail to make seemingly innocent things sound super sexual. Like, just her breathing just sounded really inappropriate.
頭皮のズキズキを想像すると憂鬱になってくるわね。でもこれをやらないと色が綺麗な金髪でいられないからな。やけどしたみたいに痛いけど仕方ないのよ、みちる。我慢しなきゃ。ああ、そうだ、一応皮膚に保護のためのクリームを塗り塗りと。では
Are we still playing board games?
これを頭に。はっ！ぎにゃー！
Although it's not uncommon to hear someone who acts in bizarre, stupid ways derided as a space alien. It's a general rule that aliens I've seen in movies possess advanced intelligence surpassing humanity's. And some they're depicted as virtual gods manipulating genetic sequences to control human evolution. Do aliens exist? Yes. If you ask scientific authorities on the subject, they'll tell you, in all likelihood, yes. Just as the children's eyes begin to sparkle, the scientists tack on the malicious afternote. Not that they're anything like what you're thinking. Even if we do find some alien water flea wriggling around on a distant planet, can't imagine it'll inspire too passionate a response from the general public. People don't want to rip off like that for their ET. What they want is a simple, by-the-book alien. So they don't want a blonde-headed tsundere? Although I've experienced a wide range of auditory stimuli in my time, this is quite the ear-splitting streak. There's considerable distance between me and the source. There's no damage to my eardrums, but if I had to approach, I'd need to prepare myself a pretty decent set of earmuffs. Compared to the 120 decibels produced by the engine of a civilian aircraft, this is no match in pure volume. But when you consider the sheer unpleasantness factor, it's a pretty competitive match. Again, mind explaining what's going on? How long is a while? Several days? Weeks?
そんなに長くはないのよ。スペインのトマト祭りだって1時間しかやらないんだから。まあ、それよりかは長いけどな。
What exactly is that woman doing other than shrieking like a banshee?
それが私にもわからないのよさ。チルチル宇宙人説っていうのが一番濃厚なのよ。変な声出してマザーシップとコンタクトしてるんじゃないかって踏んでるのよさ。
I mean, we've known that she's an
一種
alien.
の儀式だわな。
Communicating with the stars, I see plausible. That woman's definitely a little out of the ordinary.
そうそう。ちょっとね、あれなのよ、おつむか。
I don't think you should necessarily talk. Damn.
そうなのよね。強くね、言えないと思うのよね。あ
I'm somewhat interested in the nature of this ceremony. Let's take a look.
私はチルチルのあんな姿を見たくないから失礼するのよさ。
Like that? Like what exactly?
口では説明できないのよ。だからその目で確かめてくるがいいのよさ。
See it with your own eyes. I'll do just that. As I approach Michiru's room, I notice a strange stench in the air. This is foul. Some kind of gas. The membranes of my nose twitch in response. My body recalls the tension it's known in the field. They did receive training to retain the capacity for action even when caught in a cloud of tear gas, but it doesn't matter how much training you have. The irrepressible coughing and runny nose, the pain in your eyes, the irritation in my skin will always lower your effectiveness. No, my mistake. This isn't gas. I thought it might have been dispersed pepper spray, but it seems to have been a misjudgment. The odor's terrible and it's not dense enough to affect my... What's this? The ceremony mocking I was talking about. What's that supposed to mean? The ceremony. Don't tell me it involves human sacrifice. What do you think of human sacrifice to Mayan civilization is what comes to mind in order to offer tribute to the god of the sun. Instead, they would paint a human being blue and gouge out their still beating heart. Ceremonies like that should have been ancient history by now in the first place. We're in Japan here, you know? It's hard to believe, but if Michiru happens to have painted her body blue, then it's bingo. She's emerged. Immediately tumble my way across the hallway with a skillful shoulder roll, hide myself in the shadows and silence the sound of my breath. She's a zombie. This moment, I know fear. Not the fear of death, but the fear of darkness. This is in fact a variety of terror completely new to me. To explain its nature concisely. What the hell is this? Nature's body was not, in fact, dyed blue, which is all well and good. The roll is a cling wrapper wrapped all around her head. From inside, a mysterious sap drips out in globs. Just as Machina said, Michiru's eerie, irregular movements are reminiscent of a space alien. Such a particular variety of terror that accompanies a close encounter of the third kind. If I'm discovered, all bets are off. It's that sort of fear. Michiru wanders around the hallway with vacant eyes. Her cries are truly bizarre. Is she receiving a message? Or could that shriek itself be the transmission to the stars? Oh no, it's the alien dance. Michiru draws near me. Her lips are trembling violently. Her eyes seem to have rolled back in her head. passes my hiding place and wanders off somewhere. It's been a long time since I wished her desperately from the bottom of my heart. Please don't find me. She's left a slimy trail behind her, like a slug. I thought she was nothing more than a tsundere wannabe. I think she conducts such a mysterious ritual. Clearly, I need to handle her with more caution.
あなた、何してるの？そんなところで不自然に寝転がって。
Are we actually prone? If it isn't Sakaki, let me ask you instead, why are you standing up like that? As for me, I was just taking evasive action in response to a certain crisis.
キキ？そう、大変なのね。
I stand up, brushing the dust off my clothes, picked up during my roll across the floor. Incidentally, what are your thoughts on extraterrestrial life? I know it's a difficult question, but I want to organize my own thoughts on the matter. Please let me hear your opinion. Sakaki answers my sudden question without hesitation.
そうね。来年には宇宙戦争が始まるわ。
No, it's worse than I thought.
宇宙からのファーストコンタクト。それは思いもよらない形から始まる。最初は予兆、そして接触。
You know a lot about this. How long have you been sitting on this information? It's literally the first thing that pops up when you Google the underground Japanese base.
人間たちは未知の
Sorry,
恐
off
怖
topic.
に怯え、理解よりも警戒が勝ってしまう。その結果、人々は安らかな睡眠のために武器を手に取ることを選択するのよ。
Battle for survival, huh? Sometimes there's no room for any other choice, but there's an old saying, the first blow is half the battle.
でもナポレオンはこう言ってる。戦いは最後の5分間にある。
It'll seem like they contradict each other. See where you're going with this.
宇宙戦争は人類の敗北という形で幕を引く。恐怖から逃れるために武器を取ることは間違っている。と、最後に結んで、その小説は終わったわ。
Novel. Oh, we're talking about a book.
当たり前じゃない。宇宙人についてなんて急に言われても答えようがないもの。
I see. My bad.
いいえ、別に。だけど、これからは廊下でのほふ前進は慎みなさい。
I'll do whatever I want, woman. Crawling, is it? Through the low crawl they teach every SDF grunt. Is a method of advancing with your body pressed flat on the ground, so it's not surprising you'd see it that way. But I didn't advance even a single meter, now did I? Your powers of observation are still lacking, Sakaki Yumiko, my friend. That is what we call the prone position.
来年に宇宙戦争が起こるというのは本当でしょうか?
We can't rule anything out. Oh, Sachi, were you listening?
すみません。立ち聞きをしていたわけではないのですが、偶然耳に入ってしまって。
Sashi's anxious expression suggests she took my conversation with Sakaki completely seriously. I say that depends on the contents of Michiru's reports. If she really is sending transmissions into space, their contents will decide our fate.
ミチル様が宇宙と交信を？それは初耳です。
Oh, Sachi, you're aware of the galactic community, I see. Humankind ravages nature and slaughters innocent animals to eat their corpses. If the aliens learn of our savage ways, we won't get off easy. If you want, we can go watch the crucial moment together.
はい、お供させていただきます。
Certainly. There you see. Hey, careful. Get any closer and you'll be in danger.
あの姿を見たのは初めてではありませんが、いつも通りショッキングです。
Listen, observe with caution. Can you see how her eyes have rolled
は
back?
い、白目を向いています。
Will be a sign she's under control of the mothership.
五感からさすが風見さんです。そんなことがわかるなんて。
Well, it's only a hypothesis for the moment.
あれは何ですか？ひどく体をビクンビクンさせていますが。
She may well be fighting with someone in the spirit world, but in the end, we're merely spectators. We can do nothing but watch over her
ミチ
battle.
ル様、大変な状況だったんですね。私、そんなこととはつゆ知らずにおりました。
Then again, we can also interpret this in a very different way.
言いますと、
That's a
ダン
dance.
ス。
At a glimpse, it may look like she's going to convulsions, but there's also the possibility she's simply working on her moves.
頭から液体を垂らしながら踊りの練習。ミチル様は一味違いますね。
Unique indeed. If you think of it as a modern dance expressing her inner self, I'd say this is actually pretty spot
で
on.
すが、ミチル様がダンスに精通しているなんて知りませんでした。踊っている姿を拝見したことがあまりないもので。
Wani didn't pick up those cooking skills in a day either. Expertise is the result of hidden dedication to your craft. In other words, Michiru is sowing the seeds here and now for the future flowering of artistic accomplishment.
あんな必死なお顔でみちる様の努力には感服いたします。いつか素敵な暗黒舞踏を見せていただきたいものです。
Her dance is the dance that will reach the heavens.
ねえ、二人で仲良く何してるの？
Shh, keep it quiet.
今、みちる様のダンスの練習を見学していたところです。ダンス？どれどれ？ああ、なんだいつものあれじゃない。またやってるのね。
Doesn't it just bring a tear to your eye?
まあ、それはそうね。でも、ちょっと怖くて見たくないな。
Don't you understand the magnificence of these movements? These steps express the terror of an invasion from outer space. Truly avant-garde.
わかんないわよ。ただ痛みを我慢してるようにしか見えない。
Philistine. To think your frigidity would extend to the fine arts as well.
ちょっと待ってよ。持って何よ。持って。私不干渉じゃないでしょ。
Oh, really?
何よもう。あまねさん、言ってしまわれましたね。
What a sad human being. Can't even appreciate this work of art, whatever it is. So basically just making stuff up here.
なるほど。
Okay, we bored yet?
いえ、まだ観察したいと思っています。
I see. You're passionate. I'm bored. Frankly, I got bored about 2 minutes in.
そうですか。では、私も掃除を続けたいと思います。それでは、失礼いたします。
Good work. If you observe any dramatic changes with Michiru, make sure to report them to me.
はい。
I like how we just had that whole thing, you know, about telling her about the underwear and stuff. We're not supposed to, like, give her things that might be misunderstood. And then here we are just telling her to, like, to watch her as if she's an alien. As I'm leaving, it occurs to me that Michiru's movements are also similar to those of a zombie. That's what I said! If that woman is in fact one of the undead, I suppose we'll have to put a bullet in her head. Compared to walking the earth as a living dead, I'm sure she would want it that way. Gosh, that hurts to look at. When you take a walk like this, you realize just how wide a range of shops there is in this town. Just for food, we've got butchers, fishmongers, greengrocers, and convenience stores. There's even 2 large supermarkets on either side of the station. In the town I was living in before, there was of course a shopping area. Its scale was adequate to avoid any problems in my daily life, but overall, what the part of this is cut off. Hold up, I couldn't even read all of it. It's overall a pretty compact district, and most of the stores were small family-owned businesses. Doesn't even bear comparison to what you'd find in a town fairly close to the metropolitan area like this one. I don't intend to estimate the wealth of the town by its facade alone, but looking at the number of chic retailers of clothes, jewelry, and other non-essential luxury goods, you'll naturally get an idea of this place's relatively high-class population. So that's what I'm currently doing in this affluent town. I've been on my way to buy curtains for my windows, heading to a hardware store Amane told me about. Had been. Yeah, past tense. Noticed a certain abnormality about 10 minutes ago. Specifically, someone was on my tail. Thought my imagination might have just been acting up at first, but when I abruptly changed my course just to be safe, they came charging after me in a panic. There's no way this is a coincidence. There are 3 pursuers. Since they've been following me in a group rather than dispersed individually, it's incredibly easy to tell. Tending to look in the show window of a watch shop along the street, I casually glanced at their faces. They weren't familiar in the slightest. For a group with a grudge against my workplace, they seemed far too sloppy and dim-witted. Basically, they just look like a bunch of juvenile delinquents. Although naughty lads like this exist in any town, it feels like you actually find more of them in well-off places like this, and they tend to be of a particularly ugly variety. They say the poor can't afford manners, but I find that living in a place where everything you need is dropped in your lap tends to twist people in its own way. Forget about hard work, and it's easy to fall into warped ways of thinking. Well then, what to do? What reason would they have for following me around? Though I've been thinking it over for a while, nothing is coming to mind. In which case, it would probably be best to ask them directly. Guess I'll lure them into some nice dark alley. Looking around my surroundings perfectly casually, I'm startled when something unexpected catches my eye. Shit. Why did she have to appear at this, of all times.
おお、どうしたの？
No, it's nothing. Are you alone? Where's Amane?
今日はね、一人。女ってのは一人にしてほしい時もあるのよ。
The last time I saw a woman that needed to be alone, she was having some very vivid fantasies. Amane said that.
私がそう言っているのよさ。
Oh no, not you too. Cheeky girl. Well, what can I do about this shrimp? At this rate, she might get mixed up in this. Thrust my hand into the rear pocket of my school uniform and pull out 3 10,000 yen notes rolled up with a rubber band. It's hot today, isn't it? Maki, I feel like some ice cream.
晩ご飯の前に食べたらダメなのよ。アマネに怒られるのよさ。
What, Amane does? No, won't hurt her. I really want ice cream. Can you go buy some?
でも
Please, I'll explain it to Amane so she won't get mad at you, okay? I take Makina's hand and forcibly close it around the 30,000 yen.
お金こんなにいっぱいいらないのよ。
Really? Then go ahead and use the change to dabble in the stock market.
株に投資するには足りないと思う。
I mean, it is. Anyways, ice cream. Head over to Baskin Robbins. Baskin Robinson on the other side of the station. Make mine a caramel ribbon.
私はラズベリーチーズケーキとパッポンストリートシャワーのダブルで。
It's quite the name. Double or triple, whatever is fine. Give whatever you want.
それはとっても嬉しいのだけれども、素朴な疑問があるのよさ。
What?
なんでお兄ちゃんは一緒に行かないの？
Because I'm too embarrassed to go in that place. Come on, get going.
何か釈然としないものが胸の奥でくすぶっているのだけれども。
Wait.
いい女は余計な質問をして男を困らせないものなのよ。
Since when was I your man? What? Want to say that?
そう。
Cheeky girl.
じゃあ行ってくるのよさ。少しお時間がかかるかもしれませんが、しばしご歓談を。
With who? While catching Makina, trot off with the money clenched in her hand, I exhale slowly. The bunch following me doesn't show any signs of chasing after Makina and her money. In other words, they're not after me for my cash. If it's not a robbery, I guess that would leave a personal grudge or some sort of class resentment. Either way, not a particularly welcome situation. But whatever. After watching Makina disappear, I find an alley between a cleaner's and a liquor store. Casually turn it into it as if taking a shortcut.
おい、あいつどこ行った？
逃げられたんか？だから言ったべよ。
あいつやっぱ気づいてたんだって。
Were they actually following us?
言ってる間に探せよ、ボギー。ほんと使えねえな、てめえら。あ？てめえらって何よ？俺も入ってんの？何それ？リーダー気取り？てめえまたボコられてえの？あ？だからてめえ。一度まぐれで勝ったぐらいで随分とビッグなマウス叩いちゃってくれちゃってんじゃんよ。あ？いいぜ、来いよ。
やめろよ。今あんなことしてる場合じゃねえべよ。
Oh, these guys do look like trouble. Hey there.
てめえどこに隠れてやがった？
Ah, behind those beer cases. You need something.
のこのこと自分から出てきやがって。なんか用か？だってよ。
あんたそれ美浜学園の制服だよな。
Yeah, it is. What about it?
じゃああんたには悪いんだけどもよ。ボコらしてもらうわ。
Why would you do that?
あ？理由なんかねえよ。ただおめえをボッコボコにしてだけ。理解できたか？あ？
Hey now, you're scaring me. Please stop. I can't stand violence. This guy's spouting some bullshit right now.
悪くは思うなよ。こっちも仕事なんでな。
Job.
ぐちゃぐちゃうるせえんだよ。
This guy's got a knife, and he's got a taser. An attempt to intimidate me, the man fires a flashy burst of sparks and a stun gun in his hand. Discharge of electrical energy scorches particles of dust in the atmosphere. Burning smell fills the air, pricking the depths of my nose. Close my eyes. The next moment a siren rings out my head. I'm in pouring rain, pushing for the mud at my feet. Taste of iron spreading through my mouth, hiding my body from the light of the flares. Knife dyed black in my hands, swallowing down my heart as it tried to leap out of my mouth. You want to protect something, first protect yourself. Seems the time has come to make use of my super self-defense technique.
なんだてめえ。おとなしくしてりゃ、命だけは助けてやんぞ。
As the man raises his stun gun and takes a fighting stance, I draw a huge breath into my lungs. Bringing out my voice to the limit, I scream, "Help me!"
てめえふざけんな。
Someone help, call the police.
でけえ声出すんじゃねえよ。おら！
The man's stun gun discharges a threatening pale bluish arc of electricity in my general direction. Reach out and gently grasp his outthrust hand as if trying to shake. Well, guess that's what you'd expect. This narrow alley, all three can't attack me at once. Maybe you plan for this sort of cramped space, or maybe it's just a coincidence for prioritizing ease of concealment. Either way, the iron pipe in the man with the black tank top's hand is cut very short, not well suited for disabling me with a single blow. That said, the guy next to him with the knife is as much use either. It might look like the most dangerous of the bunch at a glance, but a weapon like that is actually a hindrance if he's not planning to kill me. This situation, the flashiest, easiest to use weapon, is also the most effective. Stun gun can stop me dead with a single attack. The idea would be to fire off a single shot to eliminate my mobility and crush my fighting spirit, then have all three surround me and beat me senseless.
てめえ。手を離せこの野郎。
Now that's just rude. I don't go around holding hands with men for the fun of it. Yeah, we're competitively gay here, okay? Looks like a casual, light grasp. Truth is, I got a hold on that vital point of his hand he's holding the stun gun with. When I put pressure on this exact spot, he can't push or pull as long as he's maintaining his grip. If he were to pull hard back using the weight of his body, he could rip his hand free, but I'm controlling his center of gravity as well, so that's having not
おい
an
何
option.
やってんだ。さっさとやっちまえ。
くそ。離せよ。
It's not like I'm grabbing you that hard, you're just like that monkey with his hand stuck in a jar. Might as well just drop the banana, right? My words, the man's firm grip on his stun gun weakens for just an instant. In that moment, I feel the loosening of his proximal... Oh my gosh, what are you saying right now? Phalanx bones. I'm sorry, I probably mispronounced that. I twist his hand sharply upward and dig my hard thumb into the side of his hand. By first extending the joints of his wrist, then attacking him with the pinpoint pressure of my finger, I've completely disabled his ability to maintain a grip. The stun gun slips out of his hand. Whoops. Catching the stun gun as it falls to the man's hand, I jerk his arm upward to immobilize his elbow joint, then push him hard against the pile of beer cases stacked along the wall. I love their faces. I mash the man's face against the beer cases while maintaining my incapacitating wrist hold. The next moment, I push the stun gun against the scruff of his neck and throw the switch without hesitation. One down.
てめえ。
Here, catch. As the next man raises his short iron pipe above his head like a hammer, I abruptly toss the stun gun in his direction.
おお。
The man reaches down in a panic, trying to receive the stun gun. Been a while since I've seen such a bunch of clowns. Kick my knee up sharply into his virtually defenseless abdomen.
おげ。
Instantly doubling over his belly in an instinctive attempt to protect the place he's been attacked, the man's chin sticks out as if begging to be kicked. Well, if you insist. The air that was in the man's lungs squirts out through his nose as his eyes roll back in his head. He crumbles face first onto the ground. I'll give you 2 seconds. Drop the knife.
来るな。こっち来んな。
1,
悪かった。もうやめる。だから。
2.
うわ
The man throws the knife in his hand aside and stumbles backwards in a blind panic, trying to escape. And where are you going? Quickly trample down on his foot from above, sealing his movement, then strike hard at the base of his throat with the joint of my right thumb. His throat crushed in the middle of a breath, the man's momentarily compressed trachea sticks out shut under the inward pressure from his lungs, rendering breathing temporarily impossible. I've only had one time in my life where I had the air knocked out of me, and that is not a great feeling. That is like, you feel like you're dying. This man claws desperately at his throat. His eyes bulge open wide and release a flood of tears. He falls with a thud onto his backside. I don't think we were done with our chat. You have to be a patient kid and listen to what others have to say, or you won't get any snacks, okay? Glancing sidelong at the man as he grasps his throat with both hands and flails his legs to the ground. Crouch down and pick up the knife he tossed away. Well, if your throat happens to get cut, you won't be able to eat your snack anyways, I guess. I've got questions. Would you be so kind as to answer? What? Can't talk? Want me to open a hole in your lung and release that air pressure so you can breathe nice and easy? May responds to my offer by violently shaking his head from side to side. Don't worry, you've got 2 perfectly good lungs. Getting a hole poked in one won't kill you. As I stand looking down on him with a knife in one hand, the man scrambles desperately at the ground, trying to put some distance between us. Seriously, where do you think you're going? You want to make it physically impossible for you to run? Just answer my questions. First question, who gave you the orders? One of you said this was your job, right? But you didn't show any interest in a little girl with money in her hands, so this wasn't just a stick-up. Somebody asked you, right, to beat the shit out of me in particular. That's like... Well, at the current exchange rate, it's like less than 3,000, but we'll just say 3,000. Screwed up. Should have talked to him instead of you. So grasping the knife in my hand, I glanced back at the man with the bandana. His flat on the asphalt, his eyes rolled all the way back in his head, drilling from the mouth. Whatever, next question. Did you come after me knowing who I am? Do you know my name? Well, that's as expected. The first thing these guys asked me about was the Mihama uniform. As evidence, they were targeting a male Mihama Academy student rather than Kazumi Yuji. That said, I'm the only male student at Mihama Academy at the moment, so ultimately I was a specific target. He says at the moment. Is that implying that we're going to get another one at some point? Considering the bunch of clowns they sent, it's hard to think this has any connection to anyone with a grudge related to my job, so who the hell, and for what reason? First things first, doesn't seem like I'm going to get anything useful out of you, does it? In that case, might as well squeeze this one off, wake up Bandana Man and squeeze it out of him. I'm trying to speculate who would have done this. I'm wondering if it was a classmate? I don't know, maybe there's somebody in our group who's a little bit more knowledgeable than we know. Don't get so worked up. Rest assured I don't kill people. Well, sometimes I might wish I had by the time I'm through. What are you quivering about? You scared? Not scared to die? Realizing I'm still gripping the open knife in my hand. Oh, my bad. I'll give this back later. At least the folding knife's lock and shut the blade away with a snap. I recommend not carrying around toys like this. Having one on hand makes you want to use it. Something like this in your pocket, your mouth gets smarter. You start swaggering around, picking up stupid fights with people. If you lose control, you end up doing something you can't take back. Probably just trying to look cool, but depending on a toy like this, to prop up your ego seems more pathetic from where I stand. Blinding beam of a flashlight shines through the dim alley in my face and I instinctively shield my eyes. Yeah, no need to scream. I'm not an old man. My ears work just fine. Oh no, it's the same guy! Ah! Not this clown again. That's my line I have to say though. The police force in this town is really impressive. Did you hear my scream? Well, it's not gonna look good that we won the fight. That's supposed to mean almost like you think of me as that guy who's going to cause trouble sooner or later. We'll talk about rude. Come on now. I'm the victim here. Still holding the knife I took from the man. Guess I won't be able to talk myself out of this one. Damn it, guess that's that. And of course she has to come back at this exact moment. Then I turn around and find Bakuya standing behind me, ice cream in both hands. No, I guess you call her my classmate. Hey, that was her decision, not mine. For some reason, I've got the feeling this policeman's mental image of being getting worse for this second. Yeah, fine. Don't worry, it's not like I'm getting arrested. I'll be back as soon as I explain the situation. You go ahead and go home. I drop a hand on Makina's head with a gentle thump and use my other hand to take the ice cream cone she bought for me. Thanks for the ice cream. I said I'd come, didn't I? She doesn't have anything to do with it. Go ahead. Yeah, she literally has ice cream. How would she have been involved? I'm not going off the board. Don't make that face. I'll be back soon. I give her a light push. Makina slowly walks away, pausing several times to glance back at me. After watching her disappear around a corner, I turn to face the policeman. Maybe I can be kind of chill when the mood strikes me. This one points to my hand where I'm holding my caramel ribbon cone. Mind your own business. Sink my teeth into the ice cream Makina bought me. The interrogation room again. So I find myself in the sweat box for the second time. I can't believe this is happening. I've been for this once already. I've gotten a little used to this place. The uniformed cop was guiding me here. I looked around the station for familiar faces. Those young detective who interviewed me the other day, slurping up soba noodles at his desk. Trying to send a small message of apology for the last time. I smiled and bowed my head lightly in greeting. The young detective scowled back bluntly and spun his chair away from me, still clutching his bowl. Possibly he's got some idea of my background now, as the gesture seemed to be saying, I had no intention of playing nice with Ichigawa. Either way, it was a firm and unambiguous rejection. With an attitude like that, it's no wonder the police rarely get any civilian cooperation these days. Maybe I told them as much, but managed to swallow the words down with a smile. Looking at things from the other point of view, I'm definitely nothing but trouble. He sits down across from me again. I think it might as well come out and give him a vocal apology, at least. I'm betraying my expectations. The person who enters the room is the sly-looking elderly detective I spoke with before my release last time.
Kazami-san.
Don't talk to me like that. Well, times 4. I don't know if it's a vocal tick or whatever. This detective seems to enjoy repeating that word. This is the sort of guy that loves to play the slow-witted old man like that. And suddenly he asks, how many times did I say well just now? To probe how mentally focused you are in the conversation. You respond, don't know. Having thrown you off balance, he'll barge in with a sharp, to-the-point question. This is the sort of old codger you can never let your guard down around. I was victim of a unilateral assault. I didn't go looking to cause trouble. More importantly, have you ID'd the people who attacked me?
それはもう3人とも窃盗や傷害の前科がありましてね。すぐに身元は判明しましたよ。聞いてどうなさるおつもりです？
Not particularly looking for revenge, if that's what you're worried about.
はは。ということは素性によってはお仲間に？
What do you mean? What gang?
困りますな。確かにポンといなくなっても誰も気に留めないような連中ですがね。
I like how we've somehow been ID'd as somebody who's in a gang. Just a bunch of thugs.
そう考えてもらって間違いありませんな。あの中の一人は地元の暴力団とのつながりもありますが、まあ極めて善良な一般市民ですな。あなた方に比べればという意味ですよ。
Oh yeah, I forgot. I think he knows kind of where my background is. You didn't need to spell it out. They give us anything about why they attacked me.
はいはい、そりゃもう素直にゲロしましたよ。ですがまあ、なんと説明したものでしょうね。いわゆる最近流行りのネット殺人ってやつなんですよね。
Net murder?
いや、私も詳しかないんでうまく説明できないんですがね。なんでもネットの掲示板に殺人依頼の書き込みをすると、いわゆる仕置き人という連中が代理で実行してくれるらしいのですわ。
Oh gosh, I'm going back to Corpse Factory of this one. That was a fun game until it completely changed halfway through.
まあ、殺人依頼の書き込みってのはほとんどが冷やかしで、実際のところは気に入らない相手の名前を書いて、死なない程度に袋叩きにしてくれというのがほとんどだそうなんですがね。
I just don't know who would have requested that besides if it's not related to our background. Like it has to be someone we know currently. They didn't have any idea of my background when they attacked me.
うちの若いのにそのインターネット掲示板とやらを調べさせたのですが、あなたの名前は上がっていないそうです。
I don't think it's that way either, because somebody paid them.
連中が名前も知らずにあなたを襲ったのは間違いないでしょう。
Who placed the request?
さあ、そこまでは。一応、ハンドルネームって言うんですかね。名前のとこにはマオと書かれていたそうですよ。何かお心当たりは？
Mao. No idea you couldn't trace IP.
なんだかよくわかりませんけどね。今うちの若い連中がその辺から調べてるみたいで、プロバイダーまでは終えたらしいんですが、どうにも漫画喫茶から発信されたみたいでね。今何人か向かわせとるところです。
Is it local? An idiot runs a public net cafe without restrictions on BBS posting in this day and age. Regardless, I don't think there's much hope of finding the criminal among their
い
customers.
やはや、しかし最近は何でもネットですよ。私らジジイにはちんぷんかんぷんですわ。はは。私らはほれ、コンピューターってやつで動いてますんでね。
That gag physically hurt. If this was America, I'd sue.
ま、何にせよ恐ろしい世の中ですよ。あなたもせいぜい気をつけることですな。
Sorry for the trouble. Continuing this conversation isn't going to get me any more information. I lift myself up with the cheap folding chair.
風見さん、まだ帰ってもらっちゃ困るのですわ。
You already got my statement,
その
right?
ことなんですがね。今回の件を傷害事件として刑事告訴されますか？
Not necessary. I haven't suffered anything except the loss of my time and energy.
まあそれがよろしいでしょうな。風見さん、あなたちょっとやりすぎですよ。逆に過剰防衛の線で粘られると厄介ですよ。
What the hell is excessive self-defense? If you come at me with a knife and you die because of it, that's your own fault.
下手すりゃ特別公務員暴行陵虐罪ってやつですわ。おたくさんの組織じゃ裁判費用は自腹なんじゃないですか？
They try suing me. I have a little talk with my superiors. You did say nobody would miss them if they fell off the face of the earth, right?
おお、怖い怖い。では今回の件は私の方でうまく処理しておきましょう。
I like how this detective kind of knows about whatever agency we work for, and he knows, like, oh, you're talking about if they just disappeared. I guess that's a normal thing for you. Appreciate that. Next time I stop by, I'll bring a present.
もう二度と来ないでくれるのが一番ありがたいですな。
That would be nice. The fact that this happened a second time, though, makes me think that it'll happen again. Turning back in the vaguely grating laughter of the sly old man and leave the sweat box. Well then, how do I explain this one to JB? It's all well and good that the police let me walk, but my problems aren't over. This incident must have reached Ichigawa by now. As my direct superior and case officer, JB will taking a lot of heat, probably grudgingly kowtowing to the brass right about now. On a short side, taking myself from my pocket, turn on the power. Next moment, with startling timing, it begins to ring.
Hello, Yuji.
Konbanwa. Your voice is lovely as always. I've been charmed out of my senses. Want to get married?
今すぐ婚姻届を持って市ヶ谷まで私を迎えに来てちょうだい。
Okay, Justin Bieber's down. My bad, let's get down to
分かって
business.
るとは思うけど、私は忙しいの。だから担当直入に言うけど、次に問題を起こしたら謹慎ね。ついでに外出と主保物品も規制して強制労働を課します。
That's literally prison. You know, there's actually a word for that now. It's called... Yeah, exactly.
大丈夫。寂しくないように週に一度は面会に行ってあげるから。
Oh, so I'm gonna be... Yeah, really solitary confinement. Is that how the grown-ups run things in this country?
通常に機能しない国防装置に払う税金はないの。言ってる意味はわかるわね。
What do you mean? America has money to spend on everything besides Americans. I understand, my bad. So I'm sure Japan could do the same. You just have to be extremely wasteful.
もし言い訳があるのなら聞いてあげる。
I mean, to be fair, Japan, I think, has one of the highest debt to GDPs of the whole world. They might be number one, I don't know. Their ratio, I think, is like 250% or something, which is really high.
言ってみなさいな。
America's not that bad. I think as far as actual debt goes, our GDP is just so high that I think, like, our ratio isn't that bad, but we owe, like, probably a lot more. JP, I love you, and...
それと
No, I should. If I say this, you'll definitely get mad.
何よ。怒らないから言いなさい。
Why is she playing along with this? Here we go. Quit your bitching, fish face. I'll stick that phone so far up your ass to feel the ringtone in your colon. Quickly end the call, drop the cell phone. JB, you're a truly understanding superior to lend it ear to your subordinates' abuse. Thanks to you, I can vent my stress and enjoy my days in serenity.
お兄ち
What the hell was that conversation? Makina, were you waiting for me here?
ゃん。だってお兄ちゃん警察に連れて行かれちゃったし、
Don't worry, it's an average experience for me. Not the first time.
後から来た警察の人に話を聞いたら、なんか3人の男の人と喧嘩したって言うし、
I see.
私心配だったのよ。
I drop my hand on Makina's head with a thud. It's becoming a habit. How to put it, this head is just the right height to rest your hand on.
ずっと待ってたのよ。
Oh, that's surprisingly sweet. Why are worried, you? When I look closely, Makina's still clutching the paper from her ice cream cone in her hand. She must have taken my "I'll be back soon" literally and stayed right there the entire time.
怪我はしてないの？大丈夫？
Who do you think you're talking to? There's no way I'd lose to the likes of them.
お兄ちゃん、喧嘩強いの？
I don't want to boast, but the only person who's beat me in a fight is my master.
じゃあ、私がピンチな時は助けてくれる？
You just worry about living a solid, decent life, and you won't need rescuing. More importantly, let's get back quickly. Amani must be worried.
怒られそうになったら助けてくれる？
Well, yeah, and I think I can handle that much at least. Come on, let's go. Makina nods energetically, trots up next to me, and grabs hold of my left hand. First Amani, now Makina. Why are my hands in such demand lately? Apparently sensing my unspoken complaint, Makina squeezes my hand forcefully.
あのね、どこにも行ったら嫌なのよ。
You don't need to squeeze that hard. I'm not going to vanish all of a sudden.
絶対？
You can't make any guarantees. I pull Makina along by her strangely warm hand. We set off for the dorm. That was actually a surprisingly sweet scene that they just propped on us. That was really nice that Makina like cared so much about us and was so worried. It's just a really stark contrast from her being kind of afraid of us almost. Like she's warmed up to us fairly quickly between the scene by the pond and this. It's really nice to see how close we've gotten in such a short amount of time. Because I know we're like the newest to the school and she's had more time to develop friendships and relationships with everybody else at the school. It's nice that we've been able to do that so easily, even though we're maybe not the most approachable person. Walk side by side, our lengthening shadows spreading out across the road. A long time ago, I used to be fascinated and puzzled by the way shadows would grow as the sun began to sink under the horizon. Who explained it to me at that time? I don't think it was my mother. Although I do remember walking hand in hand with my master at sunset, there's no way that woman would have given me a straight answer. Which would lead me. Oh yeah, it was my sister, wasn't it? Bathed in the evening sun, pulled along by my sister's hand, I pointed at my expanding shadow and asked her, why do shadows get all along at sunset? The answer she gave in return was overly technical, explaining how the changing of the seasons affected the phenomenon. And at the time, I didn't really understand any of it. Used to be, I was the one being pulled along.
何？
No, it's nothing.
独り言が多いと変なやつだと思われちゃうのよ。
That's literally what I'm doing the entire time I'm recording this. Duly noted. I hadn't thought I'd ever become the sort of person who could take another's hand in mine and lead them home. There's no guarantee I'll be here to do the same tomorrow. Oh, don't say that. That sounds sad. This time tomorrow evening, the hand that's holding hers may be gone. No, don't say that. What? Hold up.
よし、行くわよ。
Oh gosh, we have to deal with more Michiru. I'm going to end it off here. I think we actually have had a phenomenal episode. This might possibly have been my favorite yet. I think this was pretty good. It started off hilarious and kept going and then just kept getting better in different ways. And ended on a kind of a wholesome note. So I'll take that. I think that's a great, solid episode. Had a little bit of fun with all the characters, I'd say. So we'll leave it off here, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll have to deal with the alien again. She's on the screen right now. Anyways, see you then.